Let's call me Jack. Not my real name, but it'll do. I'm 37. No stranger to life. No stranger to relationships. I've been married once. Got divorced in my early 30s. No kids. She was a good person, just not the right person, for me at least. We grew apart. Maybe we were too young when we married. Or maybe we just didn't know what we really needed yet. After the divorce, I spent a few years just figuring life out again. I threw myself into work. Tried a couple of short relationships, but nothing stuck. It's strange how loneliness becomes a background noise you get used to. You don't notice it until silence hits too hard. I wasn't looking for anything serious. Honestly, I had friends. A steady job in a marketing firm. A routine. I cooked for myself. Traveled a bit. Kept it simple. Safe. And then I met Elena. She worked in the same building. I'd seen her around, but the first time we really talked was by the coffee machine. She joked about the terrible office coffee. I agreed. She smiled. I smiled. That's where it all began. She had this warmth to her, a kind of brightness that made the day seem a bit lighter. We started talking. Small stuff. Deadlines. Netflix. Jokes about our bosses. Then dinner after work turned into weekends together. She told me she'd just gotten out of a long relationship too. Said she wasn't sure she was ready for anything serious either. But we kept seeing each other. And soon enough, we both stopped pretending it was casual. I moved closer to her. We cooked together. Watched series. Bought flowers for the balcony. Her dog started sleeping on my side of the bed. We hiked together. Swam in lakes. Took pictures of each other. We had plans, Italy, a garden out of town, maybe even kids. She introduced me to her parents. I introduced her to my sister. Everything felt like it was settling into place. Felt real. Like I had finally found someone who just got me. No drama. No doubts. Just steady. You know? That rare feeling that everything is finally, right? We had our routines. Sunday coffee at the corner cafe. Grocery runs together. Friday night takeout and movie marathons. She'd sit cross-legged in oversized hoodies, scrolling through takeout apps while I made dumb jokes about calories. She'd laugh every time. There was something about the ordinary with her that felt extraordinary. But steady doesn't always mean forever. 6 months in, little cracks started showing. She stayed late at work more often. Projects, she said. But those nights dragged past 11. Sometimes I dropped by, and she seemed nervous, though she tried to hide it. Phone habits changed. Used to sit face up. Now always face down. Or charging in another room. Password changed. We never agreed to share them, but she never used to hide it. She took more solo walks. Needed air more often. Her laptop was suddenly private. Once, I passed by and saw her minimize something fast. When I asked what it was, she said, "Just an ad." If I walked in while she was texting, she'd lock the screen immediately. Smile. Just work. I didn't want to be the jealous guy. The one who checks phones and asks too many questions. So I stayed quiet. But deep down, I already knew. And the longer it went, the worse I slept. I caught myself dreading the truth. There were nights I'd lie awake while she slept beside me, back turned, arms tucked away. I'd study the ceiling, replaying memories in my head, trying to locate the shift. Was it something I said? Something I didn't? I convinced myself it would pass. That we just hit a rough patch. That love, real love, could weather this. And I tried. I really tried. I booked us a short getaway. A cabin up north, surrounded by trees and quiet. No Wi-Fi, just firewood and silence. I thought maybe we needed to reset, reconnect. But she spent most of that trip on her phone, standing near the one spot that had signal. Said she had to check in with work. We didn't even finish the board game we started. I remember lying beside her that last night in the cabin. She stared at the ceiling. So did I. I wanted to reach out. I almost did. But something in me whispered, "It's already too late." The night we got home, I checked our shared calendar on the fridge. A dinner reservation, one I didn't book, stood out. Her handwriting. I didn't recognize the name of the restaurant. Not our usual places. She said she was going out with a friend. Girls' night. But something in me didn't believe her. And it wasn't paranoia, it was instinct. A cold certainty that sat heavy in my chest. So I waited. Quietly. She left in a rush. Light makeup. A new dress she hadn't worn before. Said she might be late. I waited until she was out of the driveway. Then I followed. Not proud of it. But I had to know. And there she was. Not with a group of friends. With him. Laughing. Leaning in close. Holding his hand across the table. It didn't feel like a punch. Felt like a slow implosion. Like everything I knew folded in on itself. I didn't confront them. I left. Sat in my car for nearly an hour. Staring at the steering wheel. Wondering how long I'd been lying to myself. When she came home, she kissed me on the cheek. I said nothing. But I didn't sleep that night. Not even a minute. The next morning I made coffee. 2 cups like always. Hers with oat milk and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Just the way she liked it. I placed it on the table like I had 100 times before. She barely looked at it. Rough night? I asked. She yawned. Yeah. Stayed out a little too late. I nodded. Said nothing. There was this silence. Not the peaceful kind. The heavy kind. The kind that fills a room like smoke. After she left for work, I sat there for hours. My coffee went cold. That evening I finally asked her. Not about the guy. Not about the dinner. Just this. Are you happy? She paused. Looked down at her phone. Then said, I don't know. That's when I knew. 2 nights later, I sat her down. My voice was calm. Too calm. I know, I said. Her eyes widened. Know what? I saw you. At the restaurant. With him. She didn't deny it. Didn't lie. Just sat there. Mouth slightly open. Like someone had unplugged her voice. I'm not here to yell, I said. I just want honesty. She finally spoke. Admitted it. It had been going on for months. It started by accident, she said. We were just talking. Turned into something else. I didn't mean to hurt you, but she had. And we both knew that didn't matter. She cried. I didn't. I was too empty for tears. I moved out 3 days later. Stayed with my brother for a while. Brought only essentials. Left the shared memories behind. She texted. Called. Said she missed me. Said she was broken too. But I didn't respond. Not because I hated her. But because I was finally choosing peace over pain. It's been over a year now. I've built something new. Still small. Still quiet. But it's mine. I go on long walks. I read more. I've reconnected with old friends. I sleep better. Some nights I still think of her. Not in anger. Not even in sadness. Just as someone I used to know. She was a chapter. Not the whole book. And I'm still writing mine. Page by page. One honest line at a time.